when it comes to someone that is actually a paedophile, that of course has been convicted of the same, what should their punishment solution be? Over in Sweden, they've been doing some tests, some pilot schemes, whatever you want to call it, and they're now saying that actually therapy is the answer. You can't just lock these people up. Apparently, you've got to be putting them onto training courses, therapy, CBT, and apparently that is how you can help rehabilitate these people. Do you agree?
I do believe in rehabilitation. I think the purpose of prison is rehabilitation.
Do you?
The purpose of in being imprisoned, losing your liberty is a punishment, but you definitely don't want prisoners to come out and commit the same crimes again.
A lot of them do, so it can't be that bad.
Well, rehabilitation is one of the toughest things to do, and I think this study of only 160 people it doesn't even seem to be a study of actual offenders who've been prosecuted and imprisoned. So I think that's quite... I'm not a great believer myself in CBT. I'm a believer in proper psychoanalysis, expensive therapy, and it looks like this is an attempt to find a cheap way to not put people in prison. And what we need to do is we do need investment in prevention, but investment in social work and investment in investigation and investment in prosecution, because, you know, people who commit crimes, people who commit child sex abuse should be imprisoned, and they should be caught, imprisoned, and there should be attempts, if it can work, to make these people change their behaviour, and that's the big question. And I'm not convinced by this study.
Ali.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I actually, at the risk of breaking out in consensus here, I'm with John on this again, because I've actually done 2 years of psychotherapy training for fun. I was actually interested in the communication parts of psychotherapy. And CBT is, in many senses, a very blunt instrument and quite a cheap one.
Yeah.
That people, I mean, it can be helpful, but it's quite cookie-cutter approach. It's not very bespoke. And the reason why it's used in the NHS is because it's about throughput and it's about resources, and it's a quick and effective...
Cost saving.
It's a cost-saving issue, and, you know, fine, it may be better than nothing. But this study that's been done here is not exactly conclusive at all. I mean, it's pretty sparse, quite frankly. I'm not even sure it's made much difference.
No.
On the point about... Look, if people commit crimes, and I must say paedophilia is one of the most despicable, awful things imaginable, there are two issues. One is punishment, so retribution. The other is rehabilitation, as John says. Now, it doesn't just apply to paedophiles, but the criminal justice system and the way we deal with prisoners isn't working very effectively, right? The reoffending rate is high. When it comes to paedophiles, you want to, if there are psychological issues here, to try and deal with those and try and... It's so that they don't come out and reoffend. I mean, that's the fundamental thing, right? That we're trying to
otherwise
deal with
prison forever. It's really
it's a good have to try and stop thick skin, because I'm in disagreement with you both. Again, I'm completely on my own tonight, and I am borderline, as you say, being Michelle with no co. You can be the co, and just me on the corner of me. I disagree with the pair of you, because I don't believe it's possible for a paedophile to be rehabilitated, because paedophilia, lowest of the low. I mean, you know, we all know what it is. We don't need to rehash it. But to me, that is, it's a grotesque form of sexual preference. And when you talk about rehabilitation, that's almost like you suggesting, right, Michelle, you're a straight person. That's your sexual preference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you to 27 classes of CBT to try and reprogram your sexuality and make you somehow now attracted to women. I'm sorry, I'm being careful because it's tea time. I do not believe that you can rewire the sexual preference of a person like that. So if indeed someone has that grotesque, repulsive sexual preference, I don't want you having CBT, quite frankly. I want you to be castrated. I'll allow myself to be kind, and I'm not going to make you have physical surgery, but I would absolutely be pushing these people towards chemical castration. I think that's very sensible, and I want to give myself a pat on the back.